Hey friends, welcome back to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, the free-to-play. Today's the 30th of October. Hope you're doing well. Let's get into what we got on the trade today. So, watched Arnold's video about Zuckuss. I don't really know what to think about that. I don't really know what to think about the thing with Ahsoka, GL Ahsoka now, because I'm just so far away from it. Good thing is, Padawan Sabine is double drop now, so that's good. Rogue One is in the fleet cards and fleet packs and shipments, and Vane is on 3B Cantina, so that's good. That the parts are getting more. Is Vane the last? No, Swgoh. Do we still? I don't know. We can look it up here in a second. See what. What's what. There's Zuckuss. It's, I guess we kind of had to know that Bosk is still farmable. He's just not going to be usable as he was, which is, I don't know. It's maddening, but I don't know. I am curious about these pirates, where they're farmable at. So, he is in fleet, which is curious. And then Silvo is still not farmable because he was the last one in game. Is Brutus farmable yet? Yeah, Brutus is in fleet also. Huh. And the Vane is in Cantina because he's just there. So he's with Kira, which I don't have. So that'll be more of a draw because I don't have Kira at all. Kix is with Kylo. Trying to have, I always think, for this account, but he's super early. And then he's fleet also. So it's very interesting that there's 3 of them in fleet. There's 1 in Cantina, and there's 1 in with Kylo, super early. Because you knew at some point they were going to have to move stuff to be super early because they had all this stuff that was super late when Ahsoka came out. And if you don't remember, they put all the Parade troopers back there. I feel like General Syndulla and Padawan Sabine are all very far back in the farm. But, of course, it's kind of the way it had to be. But 51, we're now over 50, halfway to IG-11. Unfortunately, we've got a lot to go on Cara Dune, but getting 4 a day will help us catch up. But we're within the last 100 of here. Hopefully, that stinks. But hopefully we get these guys before we move into double drops, because that's going to be pretty important to us to have them before we move into double. I mean, because I think once we get to that thing for which they've been teasing about, hey, double drop, hey, the 10-year anniversary is going to start sooner rather than later, which is welcomed. Which is very welcome. It's just like, okay, well, when is it going to get here? And just, from everything I've seen, it's like, eventually, but we'll let you know. It's like, okay. Are we going to be able to, okay, we got 2. So we're getting a little closer here. Anyway, I talked about it on the, no, I haven't talked about it here, but I did talk about it on the the later video, the day-by-day video, that after I get done with, for that account, after I get done with Profunity, is I'm going to farm a conquest team that Nooch didn't talk about yesterday, because I just came to the point where I was like, he didn't talk about this. All he did was talk about GLs and say, hey, GLs are really good. And it's like, well, duh, bro. Well, what I'm going to hear is what teams that, because he talked about teams that everybody already knew about. Sith Empire, Revan, CLS, 501st, Bounty Hunters, Geos, Galactic Republic, and it's like, okay, well, can we have what about Pirates? What about Bad Batch? What about other Bad Batch? What about all of these other teams? And he just didn't. So I'm like, you know what? We're just going to put a break in, because because I'm working on Leia on that account, and after we do Profanity, it's like we're going to take a break, or maybe we'll take a break before we finish Profanity, before we move on to whatever else, and we're going to farm a farm a conquest team. And I'm looking forward to that. Here, we haven't even begun the grind for. We haven't even begun the grind for Profanity. Why? Because we're still grinding towards Executor. We're still doing Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and we're still, we're still holding out hope. We're still trying to get Executor done too, and because if you look at this Fleet Arena, which I should have done before we started this match, but it's not like we're going to win, so I'm just going to get out of it. We're under 100, so there's a lot of room for us to move up, and it's going to be, as soon as we get it's 121st. So as soon as we get some Executor, we'll be able to move up pretty easily, and that's going to help our crystal income, of course. But before we get there, obviously we need to, we're gonna finish. We're going to finish SLKR as soon as we get, we're really jammed up because we're saving these crystals, and we're farming all of these characters up to 7 stars. And then I don't know how long I'm going to take to save up crystals, but we're almost at the end of the month, and we're at 7,100, which is the most we've ever had before. But it's like, I just feel like we need to go a lot higher, because I don't love having to, taking 2 months to spend down and then taking so long to store up. And so I want to get to a much higher number where we don't have to stop so long. And so that might be, that might be 10, that might be 15, that might be 20. I don't know. But that's the play. That's what we're doing. So we don't have to stop and restart again. And I hope you can understand that. Yeah, it's just one of those things. But definitely looking forward to that. Anyway, I appreciate all of you being here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. Otherwise, as always, hold the line and we'll see you next time. But remember, I have friends everywhere.